Hello BroDude and Dudettes, this is Brody aka BroDude, and welcome back to another episode of BroDude Official. And today we are doing a video that I've been very excited to do for a little while now. It's my top 10 favorite animated shows of all time. You know, animation, something that's very special to me. And there's a lot of great animated TV shows. I had much trouble making this list, as you'll see, and I have quite a few honorable mentions, and there's definitely more beyond that too. There's so many shows that I considered for this, but let's just get right into this top 10 list with number 10, which is Pokemon Indigo League. And we're starting off with a bit of a, guilty pleasure, but sort of not at the same time. I see why people don't like it. I see it personally as a pretty fun show. I'll say I've seen nearly like zero anime. I've dipped my toes into a few animes, but I haven't really seen enough to say if I'm a fan or not. I will say Pokemon is really just an anime by definition, though, being animated in Japan. Where shows like Avatar: Last Airbender and Teen Titans are Western cartoons that take Japanese inspiration, Pokemon Indigo League is the opposite, acting nearly exactly like the Western animation other than the animation itself. Why do I like this show? Well, I just think it's pretty fun. It has flaws to be sure, but it is consistently enjoyable. The characters aren't complex, but very entertaining. I also think that the structure of the show helps it, with new characters being introduced nearly every episode. Of course, that being the Pokemon. Although there are far better shows to come on this countdown, it's still a really fun show that I definitely recommend. It's on Netflix, so definitely give it a watch. Oh yeah, it also has the greatest theme song of all time. Now we're moving on to number 9, which is Total Drama. Well, this is another guilty pleasure, sort of. I promise this is the last. Just like Indigo League, though, it sort of is a guilty pleasure and sort of isn't. I see why people don't like it. It's a dumb show filled with stupid toilet humor, but I think it's also a hilarious and smart parody of reality TV shows. It does have bad seasons, like All Stars, but the good overwhelmingly outweighs the bad. The show has a huge cast, and every character has a relationship with each other. It all meshes really well. It lives up to the name with a lot of great drama. Also, every character is great while still being a teenager cliche. It manages to build on the cliches, especially in the later episodes. Seeing the strategy among the characters is great too. Another great thing is the setting of each season. The island, the Hollywood set, the airplane, and more are all great for the different seasons. This one's also on Netflix, and it's worth a watch. Also, it's got a banging theme as well. At number 8, we have Kim Possible. This one is more of a recent one. Once we got Disney Plus, I decided to try some new shows. One of the first ones I watched was Kim Possible. I was very pleasantly surprised at how good this was. I started watching it and got introduced to an absolute bop of a theme song. Then I got introduced to the characters, who are absolutely fantastic. Kim, Ron, Kim's parents, Shigo, Rufus, Wade, Dr. Draken. The list goes on and on. It's a pretty dang funny show as well. You pretty much always get a few laughs per episode. The premise is interesting as well. Not just the premise of the show, also the episode-to-episode premises. Although it is about a teenage girl, it isn't annoying or whiny. There isn't any annoying teenage drama either. The show dodges a lot of it could easily fall into. It's one of the best Disney Channel shows, and because of that, it's, of course, on Disney Plus. Definitely give it a watch. Number 7, I have Courage the Cowardly Dog. This one's a bit different than most of the list. This one is more of a horror show, but it's still kid-friendly, sort of. It can get pretty dang creepy. And there's definitely something to be said about a show that can make you feel. Sure, making you laugh is extremely important, but it's arguably a lot harder to make you feel something. Obviously, in Courage, it makes you feel creeped out. And it exceeds at that better than any other cartoon I know. That being said, being creepy doesn't get you on this list immediately. So why is Courage on here? One word. Heart. Heart is what makes Courage the Cowardly Dog. Courage is one of the most likable and sympathetic characters in cartoon history. Muriel is absolutely wonderful. There's also quite a few standout episodes. Episodes like Freaky Fred and Last of the Star Makers are some of my favorites in animation history. Oh, and not to mention the beautiful irony of the title of this show. This is an absolutely fantastic show, and I certainly recommend it. It's not on any streaming services that I know other than Boomerang, which I do not recommend. I recommend getting this series on DVD or buy a season on YouTube for $20. It is also, the first season is also on Amazon Prime, but that is coming to an end soon. By the time that you've watched this video, it most likely has already expired. Number 6, I have Phineas and Ferb. You know what's funny about this entry? It was originally number 10 on the list. Then I watched it to see what to say on this list, and I thought, you know what, this is definitely better than Pokemon and Total Drama. I think I'll also put it above Kim Possible. Then I finally came to the conclusion of putting above Courage at number 6. So just by watching a few episodes, it jumped 4 spots. Wow, I forgot how good this show is. Just about everything about the show is very, very good. The characters are great, the comedy is top-notch, and the fact that there's a song in every episode, and most are great, is super impressive. There isn't much to say about this one, it's just a very solid and if you have seen it, rewatch it. It's probably better than you remember. Number 5, we have Fairly Odd Parents. I feel as if Fairly Odd Parents is often overlooked. Sure, it was one of Nickelodeon's biggest shows, but it was always playing second fiddle to another show. SpongeBob's. And because of that, people don't look back on it as fondly. Also, it had a rocky end, adding characters that were unnecessary to say the least. But when the show was good, it was really good. Like, extremely good. It was extremely good for quite a while. I think where it really strives is the comedy. This show was really funny. It also almost always had great specials. Channel Chasers, Jimmy Timmy Power Hour, Fairly Idle, Fairly Odd Baby, Abracatastrophe, Obtuse, Rubber Goose, Green Moose, Guava Juice, Giant Snake, Birthday Cake, Large Fries, Chocolate Shake. Which reminds me, this is another one with a great theme. It also has great characters. There's obviously Timmy, Poof, Wanda, Cosmo, Timmy's parents, Vicky, and Crocker, but there's a lot of really great side characters. Crimson Chin, Chip Skylark, Chester, AJ, Mark, Chang, Studwell, Cupid, Jorgen von Strangle, Obtuse, Rubber... No, I'm not gonna repeat that joke. Anyway, so you got the DVD of the early seasons for sure. At number 4, we have Gravity Falls. Now we're really getting into the major leagues here. The others were great, but these next 4 I knew would be on the list. And yes, I didn't know any of the others would be on the list. That's how much good animation there is. Anyway, Gravity Falls is pretty much the total package. It has everything that all the other shows had. Good premise, good characters, good comedy, etc., etc., etc. A major aspect this has over other shows is the mystery element. It felt like more than a show while it was still running. Everybody tried to solve the many mysteries, and the community was thriving. And it wasn't easy stuff to solve either. It got extremely deep and difficult to solve. Some questions still go unanswered today. Luckily though, even though it had arcs going through the whole show, you can go in at any episode not knowing anything and still enjoy it. This is truly such a great show. I'm doing it a disservice just by talking about it, so go check it out on Disney+. At number 3, we have Bojack Horseman. No show has filled me with as much existential dread as Bojack Horseman. Bojack Horseman is about a middle-aged horse/man that, back in the 90s, was in a very famous TV show. He deals with depression, alcoholism, and actually a lot of other bad things. Bojack Horseman is not a good person. He is, however, an insanely well-written character. One of the best in television history. Speaking of amazingly written characters, Diane, Princess Carolyn, Mr. Peanut Butter, Todd, Bojack's mother, Hollyhock, the list goes on and on. What else is great about the show is its subtlety. It doesn't beat you over the head with its handling of depression. I don't remember any of the characters actually saying that they have depression. It also has 2 female leads, and it's not like, wow, I'm a strong, independent woman. As a matter of fact, those 2 female leads are quite possibly my favorites in the show. Another aspect of the show I feel gets overlooked is the fantastic comedy. Vincent Adultman is absolutely amazing. Todd and Mr. Peanut Butter act as great comedic relief. The others have their moments. There are so many fantastic episodes. The View from Halfway Down, The Old Sugarman Place, Downer Ending, Time's Arrow, Fish Out of Water, Ruthie, Free Churro, and many more. Go watch this on Netflix. All of it. It is incredible. Number 2, we have SpongeBob SquarePants. It feels weird not placing SpongeBob at number 1, as it's so important to me. Just like wrestling, I've loved SpongeBob my whole life. Now, as I've gotten older, I've come to appreciate how actually great the show is. Of course, it had some bad seasons. 6 and 7 were bad, and 8 and 5 were mixed. But the good majorly outweighs the bad. The good is way better than the bad is bad. The characters are great. So many I could go an hour naming SpongeBob characters. The setting is great, the music is iconic, and its pop culture impact is immeasurable. There's so many iconic and amazing episodes. Rip Pants, Fun, Dying for Pie, Christmas Who, Shanghai, Garrett Takes a Bath, Band Geeks, Pizza Delivery, Chocolate with Nuts, The Graveyard Shift, Sailor Mounts, Fry Cook Games, Club SpongeBob, Just One Bite, The Nasty Patty, Idiot Box, No Means Allowed, Squilliam Returns, Wet Painters, Krusty Krab training video, The Camping Episode, etc., 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 etc. This show is amazing. I know you've already seen it, but watch again, and again and again, because it's iconic, and iconic for a good reason. Before we get to number 1, I'd like to do a few honorable mentions. First up, we have Rick and Morty, and you can consider this number 11. I thought it was a really fun show and got quite a few laughs out of me. I only watched the first 2 seasons, but nonetheless, I thought those 2 were really good. Then we got The Simpsons. This one could very well be in my top 10 at some point later on, but I haven't seen too much of it yet, and as I'm currently watching it. Codename Kids Next Door. This is a great show. The problem is I haven't seen it in a long time. It's hard to come across now. Cat Dog. Consider it 12. Another fun show. A classic that's worth a rewatch. Wild Thornberrys. A great classic Nickelodeon show that's worth a rewatch. Also the memes. Now, coming in at number 1, we have Regular Show. What a show. What can I say? This show is anything I could ever want out of any show. Great characters, hilarious comedy, heartfelt moments, interesting premises, fantastic action. The show has it all. I originally watched the show when I was little and thought it was funny because Muscle Man said my mom. I watched the whole show a year ago and cried when I watched the ending. Not many shows or movies can make me cry. The show has a lot of great 80s atmosphere, too, licensing classic 80s songs. The show has many great episodes, but since I listed so many with SpongeBob, I'll only list a few here. Tance, the Thanksgiving Special, Skip's Story, Exit 9B, 150-piece kit, Quips, Wrap It Up, Excellent, This Is My Jam, A Bunch of Baby Ducks, and of course, a regular epic final battle trilogy. There's so many great characters, it's hard to choose a favorite. I love Mordecai, Rigby, Eileen, and Benson. My favorites though are Pops and Skips. This show has many great side characters too. Just look at all of Exit 9B. An all-around amazing show that is on Hulu. You absolutely must watch. It is indeed a jolly good show. Well guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I worked pretty hard on it. I'm hoping it came out well. I think I'm really proud of this one. But thank you for watching guys, and if you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. BroDude out.